wait a minute, the perception that the Goyim have of us is quite the opposite. The perception that the Goyim have of Jews is the exact opposite of what I just said. The Goyim look at the Jews, they make all these caricatures of Jews. They're all money hungry, they're always involved in all these businesses, in banking, in lending, in this and that. They're always behind everything. They always have a benefit in something, whether it's the government, or it's missiles, or it's weapons, or it's this. Why do you think that is? That's because their perception of Jews is their perceptions of non-religious Jews. Their perception of Jews is of Jews that don't act like Jews, even if they look religious sometimes. They may have the payas, they may have the hats, they may not, but nonetheless, they're not acting Jewish. It's time for us to start acting Jewish, publicly, privately, proudly, and unapologetically. There are so many Jewish kids today that are embarrassed of their Judaism. The only time they put on a kippah is if they go into a shiur or if they're praying, and maybe sometimes not even that. Where do they learn this from? Their parents. Their parents go to shul with the kippah inside the pocket. Why? They don't feel like the kippah applies as long as they're not in shul. You ask the father, wait a minute, aren't you religious? Yeah, modern Orthodox. Okay, so whatever Orthodox version you are, FIFA, Nike, modern, whatever you are. We have a mitzvah in Judaism. You read about this mitzvah. You pray 3 times a day? I try. Okay, you try. So you say Shema Yisrael once a day at least? Yes, I try. Okay, so Shema Yisrael has a mitzvah of tzitzit. Mitzvah of tzitzit. You remember mitzvah of tzitzit? V'lo tatuach elevavchem v'achei nechem. You remember that? Because but Rabbi, isn't that only applicable if you have 4 corners in your clothing? And the kippah isn't only applicable when you're studying? No. Who told you that? What do you mean? My rabbi told me it's only if you have 4 corners. Okay, he told you part of the tshuva. Part of the tshuva. I'm going to give you the rest. Gemara says a few things. There are certain people that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves them. Somebody who doesn't get angry. Somebody who doesn't get drunk, somebody who doesn't insist on his due measure, meaning if somebody insulted you, you don't insist on giving it back to him. You know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes care of everything. People like that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves them. Okay. And then there's certain types of people that HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates. Already, many of the shuls are not going to like this part. Why? Because they never heard that Hashem hates people. Well, in fact, He does. He hates people that speak one thing with their mouth, but something else with their heart. Fakers, hypocrites. He calls you a tzaddik, but in reality he thinks you're a rasha. He says, I love you, but in reality he hates you. Things like that. Someone that could defend his friend with testimony that he has but doesn't. But then it goes on and it says, you should know we're talking about Jews here. It's not talking about Gentiles. We're not talking about non-Jews. Specifically talking about Jews, the Gemara says. You should know that we're talking about Jews and not be mistaken that we're not. But you should know that there are certain people that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't actually just hate them, but He excommunicates them. He puts them on nidui. You know what nidui is? Nidui is, you pray, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says he's not part of minyan. Kicked out, excommunicated. Certain people like this. And they don't even know it though. Why? HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't put a billboard on I-95 says, the following people are on nidui on my list. You know why? You would need the whole highway sometimes. It's not enough. It's too expensive already. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, no, I'll just deal with it later. We'll make Rabbi Reuven make a video on it for free. Publicize it all over the world. Who are these people that are excommunicated? And nidui? Gemara Masechet Pesachim, page 113b. There are 7 who are excommunicated from heaven. They are nidui. And these are Yehudi she'en lo isha, a Jew who has no wife, not because He's single, he hasn't found a wife. He doesn't feel like getting married. He wants to shop around. No, I haven't found the right one yet. Buddy, you're 45 years old. What, not the right one? Get anyone at her at this point. No, she's not religious enough for me. She keeps Shabbat, she keeps Talat Mishpacha, she's modest. Yeah, in reality, it's not that she's not religious. She's not pretty enough for me. Oh, it's not pretty enough for you. Okay, Kadosh Baruch Hu hates you. What? What do you mean he hates me? That's what it says. You're on Nidui. You're excommunicated. Why? Because this is already your 19th Shidduch. It's not your first one. No problem. You can find somebody that's to your liking. Don't marry somebody that you don't like. No problem. But no one you like. You don't like anyone. Who do you like? You like one of these Hashem Yachem women on the internet. On TV. That's who you like. You think that Bat Yisrael is supposed to look like this Zonah. That's what you think. Don't worry. Zonah is a milah in the Gemara. It's not a curse word. So now this is where we learn in the parasha that the sons of Yaakov says about Dinah, Akezonai. Why, is she a Zonah, her sister Dinah? We're going to let this guy rape her and not do anything about it? Be with her, we have to do nothing about it? That's the milah in the Torah. It's language of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Anyway, person doesn't have a wife, doesn't want to get married, he wants to shop around, wants to go to clubs. Every week he has a new wife because he hasn't found the right one yet. Okay, that's already a lot of us. What else? One who has a wife but doesn't have children. Right? Not because he can't have children, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that decides if he can have children. But he doesn't want to have children because he doesn't want to ruin her beauty. So every single time he's with her, it's wasted seed. No, we just got married. It's only our second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh year already. We're not ready. We're still in our 20s to have kids. We're not ready. She's on the pill. It's okay, Rabbi. My rabbi in old Israel told me it's okay. They told me it's fine. No? What? No. What? Gemara says it's not. What do you mean it's not? You're excommunicated. You're on nidui. You have no right to not have kids. That's the point of marriage. One of the points, not all of it. One of the points, you get married so you have kids. You don't want to have kids, don't get married. You don't want to ruin her figure? What do you expect? She's going to stay 95 pounds for the rest of her life? She has kids. What else? One who has kids. One who has kids, but doesn't raise them to study Torah. He sends them to go learn law. He sends them to go become a sports announcer. To go become the next NFL star. Shem Yirachem. 2.5-year career before you want to commit suicide. Because that's how long the average career is in the NFL. I used to deal with them. They were my clients. Average career, 2.5 years. Then they want to commit suicide because by 4 years after retirement, they've lost every single penny they have and they're more broke than what they started with. No matter how much money they got. We're talking about guys that made $100 million are broke within 4 years of retirement. I wrote a whole paper about it. You can look it up on the internet. The point is, Rabotai, you raise your kids to become an NFL star, a basketball star, a baseball star, a lawyer, a doctor, whatever you are, not learn Torah, you're a nidui. You're allowed to be a lawyer, allowed to be a doctor, allowed to be a shoemaker, allowed to make money. But you have to learn Torah. You don't make sure your son goes to the best yeshiva to learn Torah, you're a nidui. You pray, Kadosh Baruch Hu says deleted. Junk mail. He looks at your prayer as junk mail. Why? You sent your son to a mixed boys and girls school that calls itself religious. You send your son to public school. Hashem Yirachem, the Me'am Loez. The Me'am Loez calls every parent that sends their children to public school an idol worshiper. Why? Because that's what they teach in public school. Next. Someone who does not have tefillin on his head and tefillin on his arm. Someone doesn't lay tefillin. You don't put on tefillin? No, whenever I get a chance, Rabbi. At least 3-4 times a week. 3-4 times a week. Okay, so 3-4 times a week. Okay, so 3-4 times a week. Kadosh Baruch Hu says you're on cherem. Yeah, but I was sick and I was praying to Hashem and He didn't cure me. Exactly. He didn't cure you. What? You're on cherem. Your tefillot are going to a junk mailbox. Why? You put on tefillin whenever you feel like it. Hey, Rabbi, is it still okay to put on tefillin? It's 5:30. The sun's kind of down. The stars are out. Can I put on tefillin? No, it's too late, mister. Next time, remember, at 8 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, or definitely before. If you forgot, something happened, you're on a flight to wherever, no problem. Make sure you put on tefillin before the sun goes down. Every day, except Shabbat, except Yom Tov. Why? That's the Brit, Rabotai. That's the Brit. You don't keep the Brit, you have no connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yeah, my father didn't do it. Okay, there you go. That's why you came out like this. Fix your father's sin by doing the opposite. But then my favorite one that no one ever thought is going to be part of the list. No one ever thought it's going to make it to the best of the 7. Someone who does not wear tzitzit. Someone who does not wear tzitzit is on nidui. Yeah, but I didn't wear 4 corners. Okay, you didn't wear 4 corners. So you should. Because if you do not wear a tzitzit and you are a Jew, you're on nidui. You're excommunicated from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you a gift. A gift that keeps on giving, and you not only rejected it, you threw it in His face. He gave you a gift called mitzvah tzitzit, which is a mitzvah that's so easy, it's so easy, that you have to be crazy not to do it if you're a Jew. Why? Every single second you have this piece of clothing on, that's a mitzvah. Every second. If you, one mitzvah, we're not talking about the whole day, one mitzvah, pick any mitzvah from the Torah, let's say mitzvah tzitzit for 1 second. If you take all of the good that you've had in your life, that's not your whole life. Let's say you're 25 years old. Out of the 25, let's say 5 years is good. 20 years, you're in the bathroom, sleeping, eating, not having such a good time, whatever it is. 5 years out of the 25 years is good. Percentage-wise, let's say if you lived 100 years, let's say 20%. That's really exaggerating, but nonetheless, let's say 20% of your life is good. If we take that 20% of your life, 100 years, 20 years of life, and put it in a box, remove all the bad, and we inject it into you one shot, that's a lot of good. Imagine you could enjoy 20 years of good in 1 second. That's a lot of good. That's all the ecstasy pills and crack in the world can't do that. Now, imagine all the good, not just yours, of all of the people in all of the generations from the beginning of the world until today, until the end of the world. All of their good. Not their bad. No wars, no inquisitions, no disease, no breakups, no makeups, no nothing. All of the good that they've all had, you put all of their good into that same box that was just yours. You inject that into somebody, that's a lot of good. All of that good is not even a down payment for what you're going to get for wearing a tzitzit for 1 second. So when a Kadosh Baruch Hu says, I gave you a gift that's going to give you that much good, for what? For wearing an extra t-shirt. Not only does it make you more modest, but also gives you a lot of mitzvot. Something you cannot even imagine and begin to appreciate. But what do? You say, no, didn't you say 4 corners? No 4 corners. I'm not going to wear it if I'm not wearing 4 corners. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you don't want my mitzvot. To that extent, you're on cherem. And the Gemara Masechet Menachot, page 25, says, a Jew does not wear tzitzit if there is a gzerah on the nation, a decree on the nation, a world war, pogroms, inquisitions. The first people that get killed are the people that don't wear tzitzit. Why? They don't have any protection. all of that extra mitzvot that they would have made wearing that tzitzit when it's hot, when it's cold, when they're inside, when they're outside, all of that extra, they didn't have it. So they don't have protection when the times, unfortunately, call for a decree to wake up the people. So not only do they lose while they're alive when they're on nidui, but also Hashem Yachem, if bad things happen, which anyone with eyes and ears would know that, unfortunately, we are at such times. We are at such times. You don't have to be a big genius to realize the world wars are all heating up. All of the nations are ready to fight. Everybody is just looking for an excuse to press the trigger. Whether it's Trump, or it's China, or it's Korea, or it's Russia, or it's Israel, or it's Iran. So everybody's looking for a reason. Everyone's looking for an excuse. This is not one of those times that you just pass on mitzvot as if you have extras. And that's why Kadosh Baruch Hu says, you treat my mitzvot as if they're not important, you're on nidui. Lastly, he says, someone who does not have a mezuzah on his doorway. Someone who does not put mezuzah on his door. He has a house, 7 rooms. How many mezuzot? 1. What happened to the other rooms? Nah, they're expensive. What is it? Mezuzah, $100, $150 a mezuzah? That's too much. 1 mezuzah is enough for the whole house. Where'd you get the mezuzah? eBay. I got it for a discount. $9.99. $9.99. Make the plastic cost more money, so I had to make it. The house, $500,000 plus. $1 million plus. Mezuzah, $9.99. $40 from the Judaica store that's being run by Goyim. Only thing that's Jewish about it is the name, Judaica. Instead of going to a kosher rabbi that has mezuzot that are actually coming from places that you know who the sofer is, who wrote it, who this. One guy calls me about a month and a half ago. He says, listen, you have mezuzot? I said, yes, but I only have expensive ones. I don't deal with the $60 ones. I'm sorry. He goes, no, I want the best one. I said, the best one I have right now is $350. He goes, I want that one. I said, okay, Baruch HaBa, no problem. It's the first time I've ever sold a mezuzah. Usually it's for free, gifts for donors. I said, what's the occasion? He goes, listen, I'm never going to make this mistake again. I goes, what would you do? He said, I bought a mezuzah. Some guy was a discount. Whatever it was, I don't know, $50 or something like that. I figured I got a good deal because, the covering, the shell looked really cool. But I don't know, there was something wrong all the time in my house, all types of problems. And I heard in the shiur to check your mezuzot. So I asked the rabbi, can you check the mezuzah? So rabbi, not the one that sold it to him. A rabbi checked the mezuzah, opened it up. It's a printer paper. Printer paper. Somebody went on a computer, pressed print on something they found on the internet, they put it inside a box, hey, here's the mezuzah. This is kosher for dogs. If the dog's Jewish, he can use that mezuzah. A Jew cannot use it. A Jewish human being cannot use this mezuzah. It's printed by printer paper. Some mezuzot, another person sent me and told me, listen, I need a mezuzah. Wow, what's the problem? All my mezuzot got checked. All of them have crosses inside. I bought them on eBay. I didn't know it was missionaries are writing, they have all types of people, Chinese people, writing mezuzot, because they have skills writing stuff and drawing. They write mezuzot, but the secret missionary act is they put crosses, yoshke, inside the mezuzah. The guy checked his mezuzot, all of his mezuzot have crosses inside. Why? He bought it on eBay. A person who does not have kosher mezuzot in his house on nidui. You pray Kadosh Baruch Hu's junk mail. How many of our brothers and sisters are having their prayers go to junk mail? No tefillin, no tzitzit, no mezuzah. Don't want to get married because they want to shop around. Don't want to have kids because they want to leave their wife like Tamar. Beautiful. When are we actually going to finally realize what does it mean to be a Jew, Rabotai? Stop joking around and pretend like we're goyim. Remember, you cannot, if you were born a Jew, you cannot become a goy if you want. You could act like a goy, but you're always going to be a Jew. Meaning when you go up to Shamayim, they're going to judge you like a Jew. And Hashem yirachem, what happens to a Jew that acts like a goy in this world? Now,